Hi everyone, Gravy here, and today I'll be reviewing Pokemon Gotcha. So a while back, for a birthday present, Caroline got me this little device, and it is specifically made for Pokemon Go. They do have a original official version. I think it's called like Pokemon Go Plus, and it's like the little thing that you can like wear. And they have this one as well, and this one is a, I guess, kind of like a, off-brand version that you can get also. It's not an official thing, but there are differences between it. And I just wanted to, I gave it a couple of, I wanted to wait a while to do a review on it because I wanted to see how it worked and if it worked and, see if I liked it or not. So if you're specifically watching this for instructional purposes, I'm not really going to go into all of the details of it, so just as a heads up. So first, let's get into what is the difference between the Gotcha and the Pokemon Go Plus. The Pokemon Go Plus is something that it requires a physical kind of like a watch battery that you have to put in there every time, and it will basically buzz whenever you're around a Pokemon, and you basically push the button, and it auto catches it, for the most part. I don't know if it catches it all the time, but it will at least try to attempt to catch it. And the difference between this one is that it will automatically catch Pokemon, or at least try to, and it also will auto-spin Pokestops. So that was the main reason why I like this specifically, is that, sometimes, I'm not really interested in the Pokemon, I need more items that I could use. So now I guess I'll go ahead and talk about what is actually included. So as you can see, the back's got, it talks about like the settings and stuff like that. So, for the most part, figuring it out at first was a little difficult because like they do have information, but it's just kind of like deciphering it, or there are some things that it just doesn't talk about in general, but I'll get into that. So the first thing that comes in the box is the actual unit itself. And like it's really not that big at all, it's probably, so, and it has a little red button. That's the only button that's on there. And it has little connectors. So, and yeah, this is the actual thing. And then it here's the packaging that it comes in, bubble wrap. And it also has information on this as well. Yeah, there's like a QR that goes to the app that you will need to download to have this thing work. So that is another important thing. But yeah, it just gives a brief detail. Like first, you must charge it before you use it. Okay, and whenever you go to charge it, I'll show you. But if you push the little button, it'll tell you if it's charging or not. So you want to make sure that it's charging, one, because there's some reviews that I've read where if you plug it in and you kind of leave it alone, sometimes the connector's not touching it. So, but yeah, and then yeah, it'll tell you if it's charging and stuff like that. So yeah, not a lot of information on that. And then it also comes with a let's see on the other side, just basically a little pamphlet, about it. Not really much. Like this is it as far as you get as instructions go. So yeah, that's why I'm making the video, I guess. But it also includes a charger. So it is imperative that you do not lose this, because I have yet to see a replacement part for this. This is a charger that is specifically designed for this unit. So if you lose it, you're pretty much gonna have to buy another one. So, but yeah, it's like this. And you basically just put it right there, and it's, slides in, and that's it. There's no click, there's no, nothing. It's, it is what it is, it's got the little conductors on each port, and then whenever you do that, you can basically plug it in, basically, USB thing, and you click this little button right here, and it'll give a little, like a little battery sign, if it's charging or not. So whenever you first plug it in, just push that little button, and it'll tell you if it's charging. And then you can just walk away from it for like 3 hours or something. It doesn't need to charge that long because it's a very small battery, so that is a plus on it. That, you know, but normally I'll just like charge it and just walk away for a while and then come back to it. So, and as far as the battery goes, I get about maybe 3 days. I don't play the game heavily, so like you got a couple of hours of usage in it. So that is one thing. So, but yeah, the battery life has been pretty decent. So I guess it just depends on how often that you use it. So now we'll go through a brief explanation on how this thing actually works. So, as I've said before, you do need to download the app. So I don't know if I don't know why you would use this QR thing to go there, but you know, if you wanted to, you could pause it. But there is an app that you can download, and it's just called Go-tcha. So it's right there. So you basically download it, you open it up, and it'll tell you to push the button on your device. Well, your location and Bluetooth need to be on for it to work. So I'll go ahead and turn that on. So, but yeah, so basically it'll sync up and it'll tell you to push the button. So you push the button, and then you can see that it's turned on. And it'll tell you that it's initializing, and it'll auto update it and all this other stuff. So you have to have the app for it to work. And the thing that I like about this is that you can choose what settings you want. So you can have auto capture Pokemon that you haven't caught yet. It'll capture everything, or it'll auto spin Pokestops. You can set it to vibrate. Yeah, you can do a whole bunch of things, and it's really neat. So any kind of changes you want to do, you can do it through the app. I did have it on vibrate for a while, but if you're like in a heavily I guess Pokemon, like there's a whole bunch of them, it'll constantly vibrate, and I think that kind of drains the battery a little bit, so I just turn that off, and so. But yeah, oh, there is one other thing I forgot that is in the box, and it is actually the wristband. Yeah, it's on the picture as well. So I don't really mess with this though, because it's just it's a semi-tough plastic, and it does have the little like ridges that you can kind of put that in there, and it's just a pain to like put in and then have to like take it out to charge. If there was some like cable that I could go to like plug it in to charge it, then I would leave it in here. But since it's just such a pain to kind of like get in and out and stuff like that, and it's just, I don't know, it's just not for me, so I don't use this. So that's kind of why I kind of, didn't mention it at first. But so yeah, what I normally do, however, is whenever I'm out, playing, I'll just put this in my pocket, and I'll just walk around, and then on the screen it'll like tell you, in the Pokemon Go app, Pokemon in range, and it'll kind of like highlight it, and it'll try to catch it, and it'll tell you if it caught it or not. Same goes for Pokestops and stuff like that. However, sometimes it does have like a delayed reaction. And if there's something that you really want to catch, you might want to click on it yourself, because I think it just basically throws, the first thing that's in your item list. So if you have Pokeballs, Great Balls, Ultra Balls, it's going to go through, the Pokeballs and then go on to the Great, and then Ultra doesn't give any berries, doesn't even guarantee a capture. So do keep that in mind. So if you're walking around, you see something that you really like, and if it highlights it, you need to quickly press on it so you can catch it yourself, physically, without having to rely on this. Because there have been some times where I wanted to like use like a berry or something like that, and sometimes it'll catch it, or sometimes the Pokemon will flee and you won't catch it. So do keep that in mind. Also, there is a bit of a delay I've noticed with Pokestops. It does recognize them, and it does auto-spin them, but sometimes I've noticed that it's just quicker for me to just spin them. But sometimes if you're kind of like, walking around, you're doing other things, it'll auto-do them. And I've also used this kind of driving around, and, it's great for that, because I don't have to, I don't play and drive at the same time. I don't want you to think that, but like if I'm like a passenger or something like that, I've noticed that if the driver drives like below 30 miles an hour, probably around 20 to be on the safe side, it'll auto do that stuff for you as well. And I've been able to spin Pokestops going less than 30 miles an hour, which is a plus. I really like that it just auto does it. So like, you know, if you have like a passenger, you know, if you have a driver that just kind of like drives around slowly in like those areas, and you have like a car full of people that have this, it'll just auto spin them, and you can just, you know, catch additional Pokemon or whatever you want to do. You know, it's really, I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't think that it would do what it does, and it does count steps as well, so it does do the progress. I know that the Pokemon Go Adventure thing just came out, so buying one of these, don't know if it's quite what you're looking for. The price range for these is like $30 to $40 depending on where you get it and which device that you get, if you get the official one or this one. So there is a bit of a difference, but I still think it's valuable to have one of these, even with the adventure thing, you know, and all this other stuff. This one I like specifically because it auto catches. That's the thing. It auto catches and it auto spins. And I've seen modifications to the original Go Plus to where you can kind of set it to auto capture, but I don't know, I'm not really into that, and that's, you know, so having something that automatically does it is a plus for me. So I do enjoy that, and I do like that in the app you can basically customize whatever you want. Like if I want it to just spin Pokestops, I'll just turn off the auto catch rate, and then, you know, I'll just, you know, it'll just spin things for me. So it makes it really convenient. Another thing to keep in mind though is that this thing will go through items like no other. Like I'll have like a bunch of Pokeballs, and then like at the end of the night it just kind of goes through them. But you have caught a lot of Pokemon, so it's a good thing if you're like needing Stardust and stuff like that, because it literally catches anything that it'll detect. It doesn't catch everything, but it'll, like, you know, lock on to a Pokemon, you know, and try to catch it and stuff like that. So if you're moving too quickly, you know, it'll lock on a Pokemon if you like are too far, you know, stuff like that. But I'm starting to ramble, so I guess let's go into my experience of this. So with my experience and overall review of this is I definitely think that it is worth the money. Especially if you play it semi-regularly or, you know, whichever like that. But it is very simple once you get everything set up. So the only thing that I don't like about this is that it's basically hard to tell if it needs to be charged or not. So basically I just use it until it stops working, and then I'll charge it, and then, you know, rinse, repeat, stuff like that. Another thing that I don't quite care for is this kind of like armband. Caroline did get me a thing to where you can wear it as a necklace, but it was basically this on a necklace, and I don't, again, it's just so difficult, at least for me. It'd probably be easier for you, but it was just so difficult to keep like putting this in and out of this like just hard kind of silicone mold, and like having to charge it like not often, but enough to where, like, you know, doing that was just a hassle. So other than the battery percentage and putting it into the actual wrist thing, those are my only two main complaints for it. Other than that, I haven't had really any complaints about it. Alright, so before I wrap up, I will go through a step-by-step guide and how I use, I guess, the device. So, gotta make sure that your Bluetooth and location's on, especially, you know, to play Pokemon Go. Then you open up the app for the Go-tcha thing. You push the button, like it says to do. Okay, it'll launch. This thing will turn on. So, and then it'll initialize, it'll tell you everything's good to go, and then after all that is set and done, you can just push the home button and then launch Pokemon Go. And then how you can connect it is that if you go into settings, and then if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, you'll see over here, it'll say Pokemon Go Plus. Treat this as Pokemon Go Plus. Treat this as an official thing, since it is using the, like, I guess, official software. Even though it's not an official brand, it is using that software for it to pick up on. And you click on it, and then it'll you'll have to push the button again on this, and it'll link up, and then you'll get a little faint little signal on here, and then if you go and you push that, oh, I'm sorry, if you go ahead and push it, it'll say enable Pokemon Go Plus, let your Pokemon go, count your steps, whatever. So you go turn on, and then I will push this little button, and it'll say, let's see, connecting to Pokemon Go Plus. And it'll take a little bit, and then it'll light up whenever it is done. It'll say that it's registered, and I also have a little Pokemon right there to show you as an example. So it'll light up, it'll say Pokemon in range, and Pokemon caught. So it caught it really simple, just like that, and that's it. There is nothing on the screen whenever it is on though, so you do kind of have to just be aware that it's on, and as long as you keep this you know, close to you or close to your phone, you don't really have to worry about it going out of range. If you do get out of range, you may have to reconnect it. So all you have to do is just, you know, push that little thing and push this button. It'll reconnect it. And normally I know that the battery is dead whenever I go to connect it, and it just doesn't anymore, or, you know, it just doesn't light up. So yeah, overall that is the step-by-step guide on how I do it. And then after I'm done playing, you know, I'll just close out all the apps and stuff like that. So yeah, I just wanted to show kind of a step-by-step because I thought it was also important to show the Pokemon Go side on how to connect it. So it is important that you do treat this as the official Pokemon Go Plus as you're connecting it with your Pokemon Go. So yeah, I guess that concludes my quick review slash feedback of the Pokemon Go-tcha. If you have the official Go Plus, or if you have this, or if you've been using the Pokemon Go Adventure feature or whatever, let me know in the comments below how that's worked out for you. Also, if you have any questions on how this thing works, and if you put that in the comments below, I'm not going to answer it because I don't really know much about it, but somebody in the comments may answer it for you, so I just wanted to give you a heads up, so didn't want you to think I was like, you know, whatever. So somebody may be able to help you, but it won't be me. But overall, yeah, if or if you think it's a good gift, or if you've used it before, you know, just let me know. If you like this video, please like and subscribe for more. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and until next time, Jamat.